Hello everybody and welcome to Module 3. I have the checklist printed out. I urge you to do the same. I'm going to say that every time I make a video. And just a reminder, when you go to the Module 3 checklist, which is displayed through a wiki, what you can do to print it is, and I'm going to talk you through it. It's better if I can show you, but I'm going to talk you through it. If you look at the top of the page where it says Module 3 checklist, in fact, maybe I can show you. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. All right. See right here where you have edit, and then over here we have ... All right. Right here is the word print. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. And that's where I go. You can also make a PDF of it and easily print the checklist. So I urge you to do that and write on it and mark it up as you work through this stuff. Again, the first thing I would recommend you do is you read the whole thing and kind of tentatively plan out your work for the whole module. Okay, so I've made a few changes to the course plan, and so you'll want to check that out. It's located on the home page of the course. It's also linked on the sidebar of the course, and if you can't access it for some reason, let me know. It's a Google Doc, and Blackboard tries to block it whenever possible. And so if you need me to PDF it and send it to you as an updated PDF, I can do that for you if you're having trouble. So just let me know if you can't see the course plan, but it is a dynamic document, and when I make changes I like to announce it, but I also note the changes at the very bottom in a table so that you don't just come to it and be like, I don't know what she did. I note every change that I make. And there's some things in there that I am going to change, which is why you'll see little comments out to the side where I'm talking to myself about those changes, and I'm still figuring those things out. So those are a few changes in progress as well, if you see the little comments, the little KU comments up to the side. So the first thing I want you to think about this module is the MyTech integration wiki page. On your wiki, when you did the Wiki Foundation assignment, one of the pages you created was called MyTech integration. And it's got some sort of big idea type of questions that I want you to be thinking about this semester, and that's why I'm putting it here kind of in the middle of the semester so that you can reflect here at the midpoint about the various things that are on this page. I've created a video which you can access through this module, item 2.1, where you can watch and see what it is that I want you to do with that page. Now the page isn't technically due until the final portfolio, but in order to benefit from it, I think that you should attend to it to an extent right now. Go do 80% of it, a draft of it, dealing with some of the questions. This will be the third time you hear this. This is the first time of 3 times I think you'll hear this in the module, but the page looks intimidating, like a big mess of words and charts and things, but it's actually pretty simple. It's basically 4 questions with not very in-depth answers, and you've been provided with the resources you need to answer those questions, whether it's through the chapter readings or some of the module discussion boards that we've been doing. And the answers will continue to come in for you as you continue to work through the class. But I think it's important that you take this moment in this module to think about that page and kind of do a draft of it. Maybe answer half of the questions now, and then you can tweak them later as well before you turn in that final portfolio. But it's kind of a page to capture some of the big ideas of the class, because it can all become a blur, and I think it's important that we just stop and think, okay, what is this all about? And that's what that page is attempting to do for this class and for you, so that you have a takeaway, a page of takeaways. Okay. In this module, you're going to read Chapter 1 of the Understanding by Design textbook, which is available through eBrary. It's available in a slightly different way from the way you access the Roblier textbook. Roblier was available in 2 ways. This one's available through eBrary, and if you have trouble with that, let me know early on and I can figure out another way to get it to you. I always end up giving it to other students in other ways, so just let me know if you have any trouble and we'll figure it out and get it to you. You want to read that chapter because, and it could be that you've already read it in another class. In fact, it's likely that half of you have. But it's the whole book is a really great book on just designing instruction in a very thoughtful manner, and how you design instruction so that sort of the deeper meanings and purposes of it come through in your teaching. I think a lot of the time when we design instruction, it's hard for students to see why it matters and for them to understand what's the big idea of all of this. And Understanding by Design just tries to help teachers and instructional designers figure out how to design more meaningful instruction, which is a challenge. It's easy to anybody can say, read this and take this quiz, but how do we make instruction more impactful? Well, that's what this system, if you want to call it that, they claim not to be a system, so it's kind of an insult. That's how the Understanding by Design framework, it attempts to help you design better instruction. We're only reading one chapter of a 10-chapter book. A lot of students in the past have said this is great, and they've read on because you have access to the whole book. To me, it's one of the most sensible instructional design frameworks that I've ever come across. It just makes sense, but it is a little bit of a heavy read. So it's the kind of thing where I have to turn off all the distractions and just get there with the book and read it slowly, because it gets deep at points. All right, enough rambling about that. Read that chapter. It's going to come in handy later on in the semester when you do the unit plan modification assignment, which I'm still working on. I'm changing it this semester to make it a little more fun and hopefully meaningful. All right, so you are going to use some of these concepts later in the semester. Let's get that reading done this week, this module. And this is also the point where you turn in the readings page, your wiki readings page that has questions over the 3 chapters you've read. This will be the last official textbook chapter that you read in this class, so yay, right? Okay, so one thing we're going to do is get ready for the movie making assignment. That may or may not help. In the next module, see, this is module 3. In module 4, you're going to make a movie. So all I want you to do in this module is kind of start thinking about that. What's this movie making all about? How can this be used in the classroom? I want you to watch a few videos about movie making, both movies made by other people, like on I think there might be an Edutopia one, and then a movie that I've made on how you make a movie. You'll learn about copyright and fair use. And I also just want you to read the movie making assignment, which again is assigned in the next module, so you don't have to make a movie this module. Again, you do not make a movie in module 3, but you could be thinking about what kind of movie you want to make. If you've already made a movie, I urge you to make one of the more advanced types of movies. If you've never made one before, you might go for the basic option. But again, you're only thinking about it this module. Next module, module 4, is when you actually make the movie. But I do urge you to read the instructions. All right, module 3 discussion is about the digital school. Yes, this is an article that just came out on the first day of module 3. It's in the New York Times. It's about a one-to-one laptop initiative in a North Carolina school, and or school district actually. And there's lots of one-to-one laptop initiatives. You've heard of this before, where every child is issued a laptop. Well, supposedly this school district is having amazing success, and many people come from all over the world to visit this school and tour it and see how exactly they're doing it. So I wanted you to read this quick article. It's only actually it's one long page the way I've got it cited in the discussion board, but it's like a 3-page article in the NY Times that kind of talks about the pros and cons of it. More the pros probably than the cons. And as with any school reform, you want to be skeptical. So, but really I just want to I want you to pretend like you're a teacher in this district, because yes, every teacher from 4th to 12th grade has to go along with this reform, where all the students have MacBook Air laptops. And, you know, what would it be like for you to be a teacher in that district? How would you function? How would you rise to the challenge of teaching in a situation where you can't say, here in my, 6th grade math class, we are not using laptops, people. No, instead you have to go with that flow or find a job in some other district. So I want you to pretend like you're a teacher, or maybe a speech-language pathologist, serving students in 4th through 12th grades. You pick your grade that applies to you. I know a lot of you early childhood folks think you'll go to kindergarten or 1st grade, but you are being certified for higher grades as well. So I do want you to sort of pretend that maybe you're teaching 4th grade or 5th grade even in this case, and just think about it from the perspective of the teacher, what it would be like. And you have the freedom to respond how you want, but you want to make one initial post and 2 follow-ups. I'll give you to the 2nd Thursday of the module to do your initial post. So you can put that off a little bit if you want, and just save that for the very end of the module if you like. contrary to my policy that I shared in the orientation module. We're just going to go ahead and probably go with this post by the second Thursday of the module pattern. I think that works. All right, so that's module 3. There's no new technology in this module. You're working a bit in the wiki. You know, I'm urging you to work on your My Tech Integration wiki page. You are working the discussion board. You are reading a chapter. You are learning maybe about movie making. Maybe you've never made a movie before. A lot of you have not, and some of you have made movies before. So you're like, why am I doing this again? Well, you can extend your skills and push yourself to do something you have not done before. But there is no new technology in the sense that you're building something new. And there is no progress video journal this module either. All right, I think I have talked enough. Have a great module and let me know how I can help you.